Welcome to Three Voices Unfiltered, where no topic is off limits and everything gets real. Join us,
Ranisha,
Teresa,
Suzanne, as we dive into hot topics, share our wildest experiences, and bear our honest opinions and thoughts. Buckle up, because with us, it's always raw, always vibrant, and absolutely unfiltered.
welcome everybody to another broadcast of Three Voices Unfiltered. I'm Teresa,
I'm Suzanne.
I'm Ranisha,
and we welcome you.
and we are Three Voices Unfiltered.
There you go.
Oh my goodness.
You can do our what's it called? The never mind.
Okay. Anyway, guys, you know what? We're going to be talking about a really interesting, pretty fun topic today. And we're going to title it Daily Life Hacks. So what we're going to talk about some, some of our morning routines, some of our, work habits. Well, not me, but some of
Previous
previous work. Well, I do have some. Okay, all right. That might, But we're gonna be talking about, just some hacks in general, and hopefully they'll help you.
Things that make your life easier.
That's gonna make your
Yes.
life easier.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Because life be lifing. So
Life be lifing.
Life be
Yeah.
lifing.
So let's go ahead and start out with any morning hacks. Renisha, you got any morning hacks routine that you want to share that you can share with us?
yes, my morning hacks. I try to always get up and pray and thank God for a great day in advance. So that's what I try. My intent is also, I think about exercising. I never do it. I think about it. So it's prayer, then I think about, should I go exercise? I want to go exercise, but I don't want to go exercise.
Oh gosh.
I talk to myself about 15 minutes about exercising and thinking about the day I will start exercising. And then I just get a bottle of water and I start my day. That's exactly what I do every morning.
Okay. All right.
Very simple.
Very simple.
And I work from 9 to 6. Plus, depends.
As a retired person, my daily routine when I get up, whatever time I feel like it, but anyway, when I get up,
She keeps.
Yes, I'm going to reiterate that. You're going to love
She
it. when
keeps
you do
making
it.
us feel bad.
No, I earned this.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I've been working since I was 14.
That's right. You
I
are.
tell people I don't have to get up at 6 o'clock anymore, so I'm not going to. Unless
I
I have
hear
to.
you.
I don't have to anymore.
I don't either. I work from home, so I don't get up until.
Yeah.
At 55 and you just roll out and get in front of the computer.
And I'll put on a nice top.
Yeah. But I'm like Renisha. I try not to move out of my bed without acknowledging the Lord and thanking Him, for waking me up, because this is and I always try to say that this is a beautiful day. This is going to be a good day. I
That's
don't
what I
all the
say.
time do it, but you want to do that, So I just. And wait a minute, even if I get up, sometimes you get up and you got to rush to the restroom. I might be doing it talking, on the way, but I do that, And one thing that I have to do is I have to make up my bed.
Oh, yeah.
I have to make up my bed. I cannot. That just to me is just looking at that bed nice and, crisp is just, it just does something to me.
I have read that people that make their bed set the day.
Yeah.
Like it's better if you are
I
a
do
bed
that
maker.
too.
Like
And then, these days I will go and get some water, and I will go and sit in my spot, and I read daily devotionals, and one thing that I have to do, you guys, I have to meditate more. And I do it, sometimes I'll do it with Alexa reading something from the Bible.
Okay.
Sometimes my favorite group is, and I call them a group, but they're really a duo, is BB and CC Winans, because they got some great songs. I said all these songs can be wedding songs, but they have some great songs. So I have something like that going on in the background. And sometimes it's just plain silence. I don't want to have any TVs or radios or anything else on, you know what I mean?
That's a good one.
Whatever. And so that gets my day going. And I do that, I would say 99% of the time. Now, there has been times, especially if I have to get up really early because I have an early appointment or errand or something, that I would get my things ready and then I'll go sit down and read. But that's very, very rarely. But that's what I do in the morning, you know. That just gets me going, you know.
I like that.
Yeah, so that's my morning routine. And I even did that. And you know when I started doing that, you guys? I started doing that probably about 4 years before I retired. I would get up, talk to the Lord, make my bed, and then go and read and get it done.
Yeah, I think I've been doing my routine for like a year. And I also don't eat before 12. I drink water, and the first meal is at lunch.
I started doing
like
that.
fasting.
Yeah.
I started doing that. I
So-
started doing that probably about, I would say, not quite 2 months.
Intermittent fasting.
Yeah, I
just,
do it.
Because sometimes I'm just not hungry.
I
You
just want
know?
to give my body a break.
Yeah.
Like we work, it's working continuously all the time, every day, every second. Like give my body a break to not have to always break down some food.
Wow.
And my body was breaking down food. I was throwing it in my mouth. So I give my body a break. So I eat cereal at noon. The same cereal every day, O's. I love that
I
cereal.
love O's.
I love O's. We are twins. You know.
I
We are
love
twins.
O's, but I feel like it tears up the roof of my mouth.
Guess what? I let them sit. I let them soak in the
I
milk for
love
like
O's.
4 minutes.
Oh,
3
don't they get
minutes.
mushy?
No, they're
No,
so
'cause they're so
hard.
But they're tasty.
They're so hard. But I have a bowl of O's, and then I wait, and I'm like, okay, 4, 5, 6. What's for dinner? And then I have dinner.
Oh,
Okay.
you don't eat. You eat O's and then you don't eat anything until dinner. Oh,
Until
wow.
4 or 5.
Oh wow.
Now, if I couple that with some exercise, the girl
you
will be
straight. You be
fine.
straight.
Fine.
Oh my god.
So, but that's what I do. But
Talking
yeah.
about O's, so one thing I've been doing, this is a hack, and then I'll go back to I've been making my own granola cereal.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
It's so delicious.
I love
Yeah.
granola.
Because I like that I know what I'm putting in it, and it's actually tasty, and I was afraid that it wouldn't stay crispy, but I put it in the storage container and it's staying crispy. It's delicious.
Really?
It's like just oats, nuts, dried berries, maple syrup. I don't remember if I put honey, maybe a little bit of honey, and that's basically it.
That's
Oh,
good.
wow,
That
that's
sounds
good.
good.
I think I added vanilla as well, and you bake it in a cookie sheet, and then you break it, and you have cereal.
You need to share the recipe. Like,
So I'll eat it either dry over fruit or with almond
That's
milk.
good.
That's
yeah.
good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's one
I
of
like
my,
that.
Yeah, that
Some yogurt would be good with that.
Oh, it's
Wow.
delicious. I'll let you
That'd be
taste it
good.
before you leave.
Yeah, let me have
wow.
some.
It's delicious.
But you know what? I'm gonna tell you this real quick. Not to go off on a tangent, but to stay in line with a good hack is like when you are making something like that, just make a big batch.
I did.
You know what I mean? And
A
once
big
you,
batch.
and that's with anything that you're cooking, try to make, if you can,
That's
you
a
know,
good point.
make a big, a big pot. If you're making soup or chili, or spaghetti or something like that, make a big
Ooh,
batch because you can always. You can
Freeze
always freeze it, all right? And then when you're sitting there like me sometimes, you're just like, what am I going to eat? I don't want nothing in this refrigerator, nothing in this house or whatever, and I'm not going out. Then you think about, ooh, I got this, that I made, a couple of weeks ago. I'm going to go and get that.
That's a great hack.
Yeah.
We have, my son taught me or told me about this. They're called super cubes. SOUPER cubes, and it's this tray with 3 spaces, and each space is a cup.
Okay.
So it's great for freezing soup.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like
super
that too.
cubes, and
You just
you freeze
grab one.
and it's a serving.
I like that.
So
I
I
like
have that,
that. Or
and I'll
something.
freeze, and then you can. There's silicone, so when you're done, you can pop it out, and I'll freeze. I'll take my vacuum sealer and I'll freeze the cubes.
You always got me buying stuff.
Yeah, there is
Oh my
great
gosh.
super cubes.
Now you know I
And
gotta
then
buy it,
vacuum
right?
seal it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you know what I do?
That's nice.
I know what I do. They have these 8-ounce containers, for serving, right? And I would take something that I made and put it in there, and you put it in there, and I would put it in a Ziploc and throw it in the, and then just be in the freezer.
And
You
it's
know what
just,
I mean?
like
just
that.
making
But I
things
like that
easy.
because that seems like, first of all, it seems neat because it has a top to it.
Oh yeah, it has a lid, and they
I'm going
they
on
come
Amazon.
out about like this, maybe like about this big. It's a cup, and
Yeah,
about
I
that deep.
understand. I get it.
And it's
Yeah,
silicone,
that's
so you
good.
pop them out, and I take out the vacuum sealer or the vacuum.
Okay.
That reminds
Storage.
me,
Yeah.
when I had kids at home, one of my hacks was planning meals and cooking in my crock pot.
Yes.
Yes.
Crock
Oh
pot,
my
yes.
goodness, that crock pot saved my life so
I
many
did.
times.
I used to make. I've done it before, where you get a whole bunch of different meats and cut them all up. You don't have to cook anything, and I will zip in Ziplocs, and they have recipes and all kinds of stuff like that online. But you line up, set up your gallon Ziplocs. You put your meat, your veggies, whatever seasonings. Seal it, and then when you want to do a crock pot meal, you open it and dump it and go. And that's it. And it's
Yeah.
super easy, and especially when it's cold outside. Wonderful.
You know what else is a good hack, you guys? And I haven't done it in a while, but since we're talking about hacks, I'm gonna go do it, and I'm gonna do it probably within next week. I used to get a container, right? And I used to take different herbs, spices, and seasoning, put it all together. And I said, because I eat a lot of chicken, so I would have one with for chicken, and then I would have one for like fish. So fish would be like Old Bay, garlic powder, onion powder, something like like that, right? Maybe some dill, some dry dill or whatever. And then chicken would be whatever else I put in there, right? And that way, instead of me pulling out all of these, I just pull out the one shaker and go like this,
It's already got everything.
And it got
I have
everything
never
in
thought
it.
about
I
that.
know, right? I know, right? And you'll be surprised because a little bit of each will take up a lot of room. Does that make sense? You know
that's
what I'm saying?
right.
So you have a little bit of garlic powder, onion powder, thyme, whatever you use. I use sea salt. Well, I use Celtic salt, but we won't talk about that. But anyway, whatever you use, whatever seasoning you're using, and you can just shake it on your, on your vegetables, on
I've
your
done
meat,
that.
or
I've
whatever.
made my own tacos spice.
Yeah,
I
that's
have
what I'm
made
saying.
my own cayenne, like
Wow.
Creole, and I'll have it I just get it all from my pantry, and I combine it and keep it, and then because I don't want to buy taco seasoning that has all this preservatives and stuff.
That's
in
another
it.
thing.
Glutamate and
So I make my own
Frosting.
seasoning mixes.
Okay, that's a good
Yeah.
And you really can do it because you can even make like Italian
Anything.
Seasoning. You take your dried basil and I can't think of whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you just put that,
basil,
and you say, okay,
thyme,
And what I do also too is when I'm looking at looking at items in the grocery store, when I go to the grocery store, if I'm buying something online, I'm looking at the ingredients, and and I'm like, these days, if it got stuff in it that I cannot pronounce, that's a real thing.
that's
okay?
a real thing. I started
That's
doing
a
that.
real thing,
That's true.
And I'm like, what is this? We don't know what this is, and that's why I don't buy deli meat anymore. I don't go to the deli and get sliced ham or something. Sliced turkey. I'll go buy a big gigantic turkey breast. Yes, it's pricey. And I bought a grinder to go in my KitchenAid mixer, and I grind it, and I put my own seasoning in
That's
it,
nice.
and then I get it. One hack that I found this on TikTok, you guys, and don't say I love TikTok. And what I would do is I would get maybe sandwich size Ziplocs, right? And I would put it in, say if it, because it's ground up, with seasoning and everything, and I would pat it flat, okay. Seal it, vacuum seal, and then get it vacuum sealed, and it lays flat on top,
As it freezes.
And you freeze as you freeze it. So
Okay.
when I'm ready to make something, you can just go and just get the one packet of whatever it is,
I like
and
that.
whatever.
I like meal prepping when I go visit. If I go out of town and John stays back with my mom, I'll leave the meals ready.
Yeah.
So I'll make turkey meatloaf and freeze it and then vacuum seal it. I'll season chicken, and all he has to do is just take it out and throw it in the oven. And I've used stuff if he doesn't use it, like a quick spaghetti already made. minus the pasta because boiling pasta is quick. So that those are little tips for working moms even. It does take, it might take you a whole Sunday to prep it, but
That's
then
what I
you
used
don't
to do.
just easy grab and go.
Yeah, Rachel Ray, she has a new show.
Okay.
Rachel's Minute Meals. So it's probably a reboot of her old show because she used to do that too. But she said what she does is she prepares her meat. She goes to the store, she buys all her meat, she preps it and prepares it and puts it away so that she can grab it and just throw it in. Kind of like what you're doing.
And that's what I do. It's easy.
It's easier to, she says she washes it, she seasons it, she puts it in the freezer.
Yeah, when my mother was cooking, you know, she doesn't really, you know, cook too much these days, but when she was cooking, she would always wash her meat, whatever it is, and then she would, you know, package it and, you know, put it in the freezer. One of the things that I do is whenever I see, everybody knows me about everything on sale. When I see peppers and onions and different vegetables and they're getting on sale, I'll go ahead and I'll cut it up. Like if you come in my freezer right now, you're going to see different color peppers. And I do them in different ways. I'll dice them, I'll chunk them, or I'll slice them. So whatever I'm feeling that I want to cook, I can just go and grab.
She does that too.
I go and grab.
I don't
she does
like
that too.
to freeze my veggies.
She doesn't freeze them, but she preps them. She'll,
Okay.
Like
I freeze mine.
Oh, you freeze yours? Yeah, she doesn't freeze them.
Depending on what I'm using.
She'll just peel them and cut them up and put them in a container.
I don't like freezing because unless for soups or something, I think they tend to get mushy if I want them crispy.
Okay.
Well,
freeze them.
Well, that's the whole thing. The whole thing is that it's all according to what you're cooking. Because if I'm making a soup and I make a lot of soups, okay, it's no big deal.
Doesn't matter.
You know what I mean? You can throw it in there. And then I've learned to make it in like small portions too. You know what I mean? Because I have I said I don't need this much, and then I'll go get, especially onions, and I'll go get a regular onion, and then here I go cutting up. I said because I only need a little bit, and I don't want to unfreeze, all of this.
That's right.
But my mindset has always been this: if I'm in this kitchen and this oven is on, okay, or the crock pot is running, or I've got something on the stove, let me go ahead and do all of what I need to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I said so that way I'm warming up, or maybe what you're doing, it's less time. You just gotta find ways in your life, to just, work smarter, and that's always been my motto for a lot of years, just try to work smarter, not harder.
How many of you freeze bread? I freeze bread.
I freeze bread.
I make know about bread, freezing
it's
it.
Fine.
Really?
I freeze cheese. Cheese is great. Yeah, cheese it doesn't get messed up.
Really?
You can freeze. So if I see cheese on sale, like shredded cheese or any type of cheese, I'll freeze it.
Wow.
And when you take it out, it's fine.
Yeah, I don't buy shredded cheese anymore because it has the caking agent in it, and I didn't know, y'all. I didn't know that. I didn't know, so I
just learned that.
It tastes better actually when you get a block of cheese and
shredded.
Shredded cheese doesn't really have that much flavor. I feel I'll buy it. In a pinch because I need it if I want to make tacos. I mean, shredding cheese, it doesn't take that long. But I just sometimes I'm being honest. Sometimes you need a bag of cheese and go. But if it's like real mac and cheese, you have to get the block of cheese.
Yeah,
you have to get real
the block of cheese. But you know what? I got this thing off of I think I got it off of Amazon.
See, I ain't say nothing. I didn't think for you.
I ain't mad at y'all, because let me tell you something. Okay, I've gotten some
I had
good
a 50-50 chance.
But I got it off Amazon, and they're literally, you take that block of cheese, because, I made a breakfast casserole this morning, and you take that block of cheese, and you just, the way you put it in, you crank it.
I have that.
So when I say so quickly,
I have that.
so quickly, because you know what I was doing the old-fashioned way. I'm taking a thing and I'm going like this.
Yeah, we don't do that.
I'm like,
I have that, but it's so many parts, and it's really not that many.
And it's not.
I have one too.
When I'm cooking, I don't want it dirty dishes, so I try to use what I have out as many times as I can before I have to take something else out. I just don't want it. And Kevin, John cleans the kitchen after a meal, typically 98% of the time. He'll clean the kitchen. So I'm one of those cooks that's cleaning and cooking.
Constantly, yeah.
So I don't want to have that mix. So when he's doing dishes, he'll have our 3 forks, our 3 plates, the pot, because everything else that I use for prepping
You're
or getting it
cleaning
ready,
it.
I'm washing dishes, and I just don't like to wash dishes.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes shredded cheese in a bag is just good
Yeah,
enough.
we get it. We,
Yeah.
forgive you for using shredded cheese.
I know,
But how about with the pandemic? I discovered, I heard about it, and I knew that it existed, but I never did it. The online grocery shopping,
I do that.
where I ordered, and it was Walmart, the one that because it was all that we had really. Order your groceries online and go pick. We picked them up. We didn't get them delivered. But here I like Instacart. Like getting your groceries delivered, it does cost a little more. I think I've calculated I think one time it was about $12 by the time you got the fees, the tip, depending on how much you purchased. But it was worth it. I despise going to the grocery
Me
store.
too.
See,
I hate
I hate
shopping.
See, and I'm the opposite.
I hate
I'm not
grocery
doing.
shopping.
I'm not doing that.
I hate
I'm not
grocery
doing
Ralph
shopping.
does all the grocery shopping.
I
I
do
do
not
none.
like it.
I don't like to go there.
I
It
don't
doesn't
like
bother
it.
me. I love going because and the reason I
Too
do.
much.
Not me.
Well, and you know why?
It's so much work. It's like
is.
you have to load
too
it in
much
your
work
cart,
for me.
take it off the cart, put it on the belt, take it from then you gotta take your bags and put them back
Then
in
you
your
gotta
car.
pay for
Put
it.
them in your car, take them out of the car and
Yeah,
put
I
them
don't-
away in the kitchen.
I don't do
It's
grocery
so much
shopping.
work. I do not like grocery shopping. I'll do clothes shopping and stuff, but so to cut out time,
Instacart.
online delivery,
Grocery
or picking it up even. I find
I
that
even
easier.
have a bigger hack than that. I used to get my meals delivered, and they'd be I can't remember HelloFresh.
HelloFresh, yes, is one.
HelloFresh, and they have fresh
Yes.
ingredients in the box, chilled chicken, whatever.
With a recipe.
With the recipe,
Uh-huh.
great recipes.
Yes.
And I will make it in minutes and be done. I did that during the pandemic.
You know what I used to do when Kevin was in college? Whenever I would pick him up after exams, he was just skinnier, rough looking from just studying and staying up all night with
Aw.
finals. So I started thinking, and I wasn't that close. So I started delivering him. I would get HelloFresh delivered to him about 3 weeks before finals. A few weeks before finals, I would get on and have meals delivered to
loved it.
him, and he, because it was my way of guaranteeing that he would
ate
eat
food.
Yes, because he wasn't going to get it. He wasn't going to go to the store. But he had all the ingredients there. He made the meals, and that really worked out for us. So
And
that
it's
was
great for portion control. Like if you're trying to, you
only
only
eat like a
get
toddler.
a serving.
So they're calling toddler meals.
That's all you get. So if you want to portion control, like 2
Yes.
servings. That's
Yes.
it. One for you, one for whomever, or you save the other one, and that's it.
It's
So,
pricey, but I think for the right reasons, it works.
I loved it.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
so
you know
tasty.
what, and I agree. I agree with all of that. The reason there's 2 reasons why I like going to the grocery stores or any stores is because it gives me an opportunity to walk. Okay, and what I do is a lot of the times, not all the time, because sometimes I'm just going to get 1 or 2 things and that's it. But I like to go up and down each of the aisles, okay, because I don't know what's on sale. Because I have everything on sale, and I don't know what's on sale.
I love that.
And I'm telling you, and you know what? And let me tell you what's so amazing, because I'm the go-to person. Do you got this? Do you got that? Yeah, I got it. And I do that with traveling. I just have, make sure I try to have, a little bit of everything, because one thing I don't like doing is when I'm traveling, I don't like to buy nothing. When I say buy anything, I said, I got this at home, okay? Why am I doing this? And that's and I had to really learn. I don't care what tropical island, wherever I'm going, is to bring a jacket. And I used to didn't do that. And and I am going in somebody's gift shop or whatever, trying to find you know what I'm saying? And I said, I'm not doing that. I don't care how hot it is, all right? I will definitely bring a jacket and raiment and another thing and socks. Okay.
I learned the
throw
hard
a pair of
way.
socks.
Yeah.
It's not gonna hurt you. Some footies,
socks.
whatever. Throw
Yeah.
a pair in there. I know we're gonna be on the beach. I know it's gonna be hot. I know all of that. But just bring a pair of socks, because in a jacket. And if I don't bring a jacket, I'll bring a wrap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I bring a wrap. And that way, because you just
I've been caught on vacations where I thought it was going to be warm, and it was cold, and I had to spend part of my vacation looking for something in clothes
Always
to be
pack
warm.
warm clothes.
Yes.
Yeah. And guess what? When you're packing, buy the little packer things.
Oh,
yes.
yes.
In your suitcase, I buy the little, what are they called? They're like the
The
travel
little
travel
bags, those little travel bags.
Yep, and I put all my things,
Yeah.
like underwear and stuff in the small one, and the regular clothes in this, and I can separate it. And if I have to go on my suitcase to get something, it's all neat and it's all there.
Yeah, years ago, Suzanne gave me a gift card to like either TJ Maxx or Marshalls or something like that. You know, I'll be in the store, okay, what am I buy? And the first thing, the one thing that I bought was one of the sets. It had 2 large ones, then it had 2 medium ones and 2 small ones.
Yep.
All right,
They're great.
and I would take that. And you know, and I use it to this day, and that's what I have another set too. But I use it to this day. And another hack that I do is I use those vacuum seal the vacuum seal bags because I bought a smaller suitcase. I didn't want to take I went on vacation. I didn't want to take a big gigantic suitcase. I want to take a small one, right? And so I bought one of those vacuum sealed, the bags, and it sucked out all the air. But guess what? It was like I used my. It came with a pump.
Roll it up.
I do that too. I roll up all my clothes, even in my drawer.
No. The vacuum seal bags that you don't need the pump. You can just fold them and get the air out of them. They don't work as great, but I don't want to carry stuff with me when I'm on vacation that I don't need. I don't want to carry a pump. I'd rather
repump them.
Yeah, but let me tell you what I bought.
The air out.
But it came with like a pump like about this tall, right? And you pumping it out, right? Well, guess what? That was the last thing I was trying to remember. I said, I just bought something from Amazon the other day, and I couldn't remember what it was. You know what it was? It was it's powered by USB. It's a automatic one, an electric one.
Oh,
so you don't have to do all that.
Like that.
And the box is about this big, y'all. I haven't even taken out the box yet. It's about this big. It's
That
very,
works.
very
Like that.
small. Okay,
That works.
And you can take it, and it's universal, so you can use it with any of your vacuum seal
That's a
bags.
travel
I have not used it yet, but that's a travel hack, and you can get so much more in your suitcase. Once you squeeze all the air out of, your clothes and.
Join us next week for part 2 of this episode.
Do us a big favor and hit that like button, share this episode, and subscribe.